thought about getting those pesky crow's feet smoothed out a little bit with some Botox. It's a pretty popular thing to do these days, choosing to turn back the clock on skin aging around the eye especially. But before you get there, you're gonna want to watch this video. What if I told you that Botox can actually age you? Yes, you heard it right, and it's not something I made up. The science is there to show it, and that's the topic of this video. These days, Botox injections seem like the magical solution to everything. Everywhere I turn, I see plastic surgeons, dermatologists, estheticians. By the way, they go to medical school to learn how to conduct these types of interventions, mostly fast fixes. But at the Beauty Doctrine, we think about a holistic approach, a functional way of approaching anti-aging, because we don't want amazing skin today. We want amazing skin for the rest of our lives. Remember that you have the one body, the one face, so you mess with it now, you're gonna pay later. Your future self won't be too happy with you. So my personal opinion is I can understand when women my age and up, so my age, I say that as I'm getting really close to 47. I'm turning 47 next month in July. And so when I talk to consumers and a lot of my clients that are considering Botox, that is probably something that makes sense when you are trying to kind of do some type of interventions when there is some aging happening, and then when you see loss of elasticity and loss of volume and all of that. But I have a massive issue with all of these advocates of Botox as a preventative measure. Many girls actually now, even before they're 20, getting Botox injections so as not to get wrinkles. I think that's the most absurd thing that there is. That's just a way to make a lot of money by many practitioners. I don't know, some of them maybe do know, some might not know, who knows, but there is kind of like a blind eye that's being turned to these potential side effects, and that's what we're going to dive into here. So preventative Botox in my book is harmful. It shouldn't exist. If I personally made it to nearly 47 without a single wrinkle on my face, I know that many people can, and I don't even have a magical lifestyle that's like regimented and super healthy. I don't even get to sleep that well. And so it's really just about understanding skin anatomy, understanding what it is that can make us age better preventatively without having to inject ourselves with toxins. And yes, it's a toxin. Botox is a foreign substance that's an absolute toxin. In very high amounts, it can actually kill you. But of course, it's being injected in minute amounts. But think about the toxic load that you are increasingly growing within your body as you're constantly introducing all of these foreign substances to the body, not even to mention pesticides, herbicides, our environment, all of, things that we wash our clothes with, candles. I mean, I can just go on. There are so many toxins around us in our environments that we have to now metabolize, but we're also choosing to start injecting ourselves with things that might not even be that helpful. And I continue to say not helpful. I'm sure you're really curious by now. Botox is not helpful when it comes to anti-aging, and I'll explain. So the way that it's thought about is, okay, you inject the muscle. So if we're freezing a muscle, there's no movement, hence it's going to prevent us from making an expression. So if I'm making an expression right now, I'm frowning. So if I frown continuously and repeatedly, I will potentially get these wrinkles here. If I express myself, I'm always really excited, I can get those horizontal wrinkles and so on and so forth. But again, I'm a very expressive person. I have not developed those wrinkles because I understand how to prevent that. And the reason that Botox won't be helping you is because, yes, it's paralyzing that muscle for a short period of time, like 3, 4, 6 months when it's on the person, but at a huge cost. I want you to start thinking about aging or age prevention by trying to preserve all of the structures that actually hold the skin in place. Even when we talk about collagen density, thickening your skin, with retinol, we can thicken the skin so much. But if we have bone resorption, which is a structure that holds the skin up, so think about the structures. You have the bone, you have the muscle, you have the fat pads, the fascia, and then the skin. And so the skin depends on all of those structures as a foundation for it to look plump and elevated. And so if we are losing that bone, it doesn't matter how thick and dense our collagen is, it doesn't matter how paralyzed our muscle is, we're just gonna get that droopiness because the bone goes away. And you might be thinking, why is she talking about bone when it comes to Botox? Well, it's because Botox can cause rapid bone loss. I did not say it. Science did. I will go ahead and link up the studies in the description so you can take your time, read through them, and get that information firsthand. But the principle is when you inject any given muscle with Botox, what's happening is that the bone that is attached to that muscle starts wasting away. And so that is the very opposite direction that we want to be going. As we age, we naturally lose bone density. So it's a good idea to try and preserve that bone as much as possible, because bone density means that we're not going to be fragile. We're not going to break easily as we age. And so if you're promoting that from a young age, that could be very problematic. I'm also going to add some comments here that I've gotten from many of my followers on TikTok when I spoke about this before, just with their own anecdotal evidence, stories, talking about all the issues that they faced after getting Botox, from eyelid droopiness, which I see so much, because when you paralyze the muscles on the forehead that are essential for keeping those eyebrows lifted, you don't lose it, you lose it. Basically, that's the principle for our body. So when you are paralyzing it, the muscle, you're sending those signals to the brain telling it, I don't need this muscle and you don't need to use it, then it just kind of droops down. Obviously, this doesn't happen for everybody. There are some people that have great experiences with Botox, but there are lots of people that can get that muscle droopiness. So they see eyelid droopiness. In fact, I very recently reposted a video where a doctor is sharing the experience of one of his patients where 10 years ago, 10 days following Botox injections, she became disabled. And let's make this clear, this is not to sound like I'm creating fear-mongering. Obviously, this works for many people, but I just feel like there's not enough awareness about the side effects. They tend to get buried, but also the push for Botox to be utilized by youth. That's what I truly have an issue with, is when people in their late teens and their 20s that are getting Botox for prevention. I want to create that awareness that there is so much else that you can do to prevent aging, to age beautifully without injecting this toxin into your body and introducing the potential of these very serious side effects. If you're new here, my name is Nadia Ben-Shakroun, founder of the Functional Beauty Principle, which is attaining your very best skin from the inside out and the outside in, utilizing safe lifestyle hacks as well as skincare, diet, supplements. In this day and age, it is understandable why we have this big hype and inclination towards getting those fast interventions like Botox and fillers, because we just want those results yesterday. So I'm super curious to find out if I've been able to talk any of you out of getting preventative Botox early on in life. If I have, please let me know in the comments. If you've gotten Botox and have had a lot of success with it and you love it, let me know as well. And if you've had side effects that are unpleasant, please share with our community as well. We're here to learn from each other. I always love reading all of your comments, and that's going to be it for this video. Be well, be safe, be beautiful. I'll see you next time.